Hey guys, welcome to Lakehouse Live. Today we have Kuf Knotz and Christine Elise in the studio. They're going to play us a tune to kick us off. This one is titled Magic and it is unreleased, so you heard it here first.
Magic. Yeah, the pen holding / freedom fighting, hoping to enlighten a spark of flame here. Listen close as we approach the new horizons and chalk it up. See, experimental music is what we bump and bump loud, so it vibrates your soul. There's rhythm when I stroll, poetical speech, abnormal rap song. Y'all inhale like and fly high off the vibe, yet and still we grounded. The 2-1 pounded, Illadelph lounging. You know the road we stroll, we kick stones as we roam and paint poems like graph on city walls. Yes, we create for a cause, and our sound, it was born in the basement from scratch. Voice and sound clash, splatter like paint on the canvas. Capture the action happen. Vibrant madness, heart filled with passion. This art is where the magic happens. This art is where the magic happens. This art is where the magic happens. This art is where the magic happens, yeah. Pants sagging, thinking I knew it all. Hand hustle and keep a watch for the nan yelling, brother jailing, pops lit up. Had me zoning out at night, not believing in luck. I was searching for something, I ain't know what. I just knew I wasn't trying to be hometown stuck. Break out, move fast, escape quick. I laced up my A6 and kept my plans basic. Think too hard, you fail before you start. I went with my God-given, follow the vision. Words over rhythm, keep it live for the listeners. Every day writing till my pen went inkless. Had to hustle hard, taking many jobs, knowing down the road a pot of gold I would come upon. Had to hustle hard, taking many jobs, knowing down the road a pot of gold I would come upon. This art is where the magic happens. This art is where the magic happens. This art is where the magic happens. Alone in a zone, we create these songs. Alone in a zone, we create these poems.
Wow, thank you guys so much for playing that. That was absolutely beautiful. And thank you so much for being here on the show today. We are elated to have you. It's wonderful to be able to help hype up the new releases that you guys have coming out. And I'd love to talk a little bit about that to get things going. So do you want to give us a little insight on your album that came out in 2024, Hypnagogia, and then the new release that's going to be coming out titled Grow?
Yes. So yeah, Hypnagogia, we put that out, like 7-8 months ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was really just an album for us that was somewhat experimental. It was our first album where we pretty much did most of the production on it. In the past, we've worked with different producers. That one was just us. And so it was a special album in that sense. And then also we just the name Hypnagogia, it is the state you're in 3 minutes into sleep. So before you go into REM, 3 or 4 minutes in, it's when most people have hallucinations or really wild out there dreams. And some artists actually use that technique to create the most famous being Salvador Dali. He would have someone wake him up 4 minutes into sleep and create what he saw in his sleep. So it's like pretty trippy and vibey. So
Yeah.
we thought that would be a great name for the album.
That's super cool, and I just had a nice little lesson too. I love that I got to learn something new. That's amazing. And does that kind of, give did that give you inspiration specifically, that state? And have you experienced that similar thing, being woken up and right as you go into that state?
Well, I think the songs mainly came first, and we were seeing this pattern of like, what is this? These are like dreams, these are like hallucinations and visions and kind of otherworldly. And we're trying to pinpoint, what that experience was. And then we came across the name after almost all the songs were finished. So I think that it was like an afterthought inspiration.
Wow. That's really amazing, though, that you were able to kind of like pinpoint that one thing and emulate it. And I'm sure a lot of people are able to relate to that specifically. So that's really beautiful. And tell me a little bit about Grow. I'm excited to hear some of the new things that are going to
Yeah.
be happening.
Yeah, so also this is a very exciting album. We both did all the production on. Um, the Christine came up with the name, and also like this album literally was put together in a few months, like really
Yes.
fast. And it was brought on from we go up to Alaska once a year to tour. And this year we went up earlier. We went in March. And we were promoting the Hypnagogia album, and they already had the album. So they were kind of like, well, where's the new album? Where's the new album? And we knew we were going back in July. And so between March and July, we did this album.
Wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, it's just like, well, you can explain what the album's about.
Yeah. And that's another one that kind of like organically came about. We knew we were going to make the album. Um, and and then all of a sudden we were driving in the car, and I was like, I didn't know if I should say it or not, but then I kept thinking about it and was like, I actually have the album cover in my head and the name and the color scheme, and it just like came to me. We had about maybe 5 songs at that point.
Wow.
And now there's 16. Yeah,
Wow.
there's 16 songs on the album. So
It's a long album.
That's amazing, though. You tripled it.
yeah, so after the name came, it grew.
Literally, it did. It did grow.
Spoke it into existence.
Yeah. And for the name and everything, does that kind of attribute to lyrically and the feel that you're gonna get from all of the songs that you're hearing?
For sure. I think it's like just an overall, grow everything in life.
Yeah.
And yeah, it definitely is also towards the music, the lyrics, just the evolution of the duo, and yeah, and how like I also got really into plants over the past over this past year, and just how everything is so connected and related, and the life of a plant and the life of a human, it's pretty
Absolutely.
wild.
I mean, that's something that I definitely I took up the planting hobby a few years ago. Definitely during the pandemic. My apartment looks like a jungle now.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Which is it's very fun working in a studio with no windows where everything dies. So I stick to my snake plants back here, and there's very few things that will survive otherwise. So otherwise, I'd keep this whole studio filled with plants, and you guys wouldn't be able to walk through it. But no, I definitely think that we grow very similarly to a plant. I mean, we're all forms of life, and we need to be watered and nurtured and
sure,
fed,
100%.
not just in the literal terms, but mentally. And
For sure.
there's so much that you could go into with that. So it's a beautiful topic and a beautiful way to bring about this album.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let's let you guys play your next song. So this one is another unreleased track, and it's going to be coming out on the album Grow. So this one is titled Cascade.
Let the forward motion continue, often keep moving. Let the forward motion continue, often keep going. Let the forward motion continue, often keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Let the forward motion continue, often keep moving. Let the forward motion continue, often keep going. Let the forward motion continue, often keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Let the forward motion continue, often keep going. Let the forward motion continue, often keep going. Let the forward motion continue, often keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
I know you can hear me clapping from over here. It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you guys again so much for performing for us today. We're very grateful to have you guys in this space.
Yeah, we're happy to be here.
Very happy to
It's
be
a good
here.
vibe.
Yes, yes, we try to keep the good vibes. Um, I would love to talk about a little bit about how you guys came together and, what's the origin story?
Yeah, so I was working for a organization that Kuf was playing a fundraiser band, and I saw the band that night and was just overwhelmed by the performance and the musicians on stage, and thought, if I ever want to be in a band, I want to be in something like that. And I never looked his name up. It was just said at that point. And I went back to work the next day as a full time music therapist. And about 2 months later, I randomly saw him at Whole Foods and was like, whoa, there's that amazing person. I went up to him and said, if you ever need a harpist, let me know.
Yeah, and then from there, I contacted her a couple weeks later, sent her some music. She sent back the music with her improving over it, and I thought it was amazing, and invited her to come perform. And after that, we hit the studio, and that was that.
Rest is history.
Yeah.
How long has your relationship been going now?
We met in, I guess it started, was that 2018?
Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
2018. Then there was 2020 and 2021. We basically couldn't perform or do anything, so
Mhm.
we just did writing
Mhm.
and yeah, worked on what music would be to come.
Yeah, which is funny. We wrote that album Community during that time
Yes. Yes.
and had a lot of musicians sit in because they sent us their
Yeah.
stems from
It's
afar.
Everyone was
amazing, yeah.
yeah.
It's a good way to keep the community going when you can't see people.
Yeah, for real.
Yes.
Definitely was.
That's awesome. And what does your songwriting process look like? Sorry, I'm losing my voice today.
All good.
But it's a very unconventional thing that you guys are doing, so I'm very curious to see how that comes about.
Yeah, I think it depends on the song, but the basic setup is I usually come up with some music uh, which starts out one way, but by the time we're finished, is completely morphed. But it's like it's a foundation to build off of. So I might do like a drum and bass, and then Christine will come up with a melody or something on her harp, and then we'll just build from there. And then writing, we usually write once the track is close to finish, and it's really just sitting there and vibing with it,
Mhm.
and like visualizing what you hear over that music. And pretty much all of our albums lyrically are written in the car because we're
Mhm.
on the road
Wow.
so often.
Yeah.
So we just turn the instrumentals on and write while we drive.
It's like the lab.
Yeah,
It's a good way to make use of that drive.
for sure, for sure.
I find that I do a lot of my writing in the car as well. It
Yeah,
seems to be the place to
it
do
is
it.
in motion.
Yeah.
Yes, in motion. And you guys are on the road a lot. Is that something that you guys want to continue to do and make part of your long-term goal? Or are you guys, gonna settle down at some point and kind of, set some roots before you go back out and put more music out?
All right. I think I think the road is yeah, that's the mission.
Travel.
That's the mission.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
See the world while you do the thing you love.
Nah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's one of our goals is like we both share that common goal to travel the world on behalf of music. And so
we're planting those seeds.
What's like a dream place for you guys to go?
um, well, it's different for Christine.
Well, let's see. I mean, I want to make it. I've seen a lot of the states now, so traveling outside the states is. I lived in South Africa for a little while, so but exploring north of that and kind of just around the world.
Yeah, I wanna. I mean, we talk about like Iceland and
Yes.
like
Mm,
I want to go there. We've been to Alaska,
Yes.
and if it's anything comparable to that, then that'll be amazing.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I'd like to go there and perform.
Iceland seems absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
I have not been there, but
Yeah.
I think too about the the artists that have come out of that area. You
Yep,
know,
yep, for sure.
it feels like you guys would jive very well, and I'm sure people would absolutely love you there.
Yeah,
There's something different about the air, I think, and
for
that
sure.
seems similar to Alaska too. I mean,
Yep.
I haven't been there as well, but
No, that's the air is very different.
feels like you can actually
Definitely.
breathe out
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
Well, hopefully you guys make it out there one day, and I hope to do the same.
Mhm.
um, sorry, I just have to cough real quick. Not, I think Mondays I do most of my talking in meetings before I do this kind of stuff, and so I start to lose my voice, which I don't know how you don't lose your voice singing, but I can't keep it talking for a few hours. So I would love to actually talk about your process with releasing music, because you had mentioned that physical copies will come out before it's released on streaming. So
Yeah,
tell me a little bit about that. I mean, it's definitely a little different than the mainstream.
definitely. Well, I think also it's part of like I feel like with artists, well, I'll just speak for us. I can't say all artists, but there's different paths and roads that different artists take. Some pop artists, there's like, a formula. You do this, you do this, you do
Hmm.
this. With grassroots root artists, independent artists, I think we just figure it out as we go,
Yeah.
like what's working
Yeah.
and what's working the best. And so we do like 100 shows a year. So having physical copies and getting them right to the people right there while they're at the show, that seems to work really well for us. And then we do eventually put it online because
Yeah.
I read something that I thought was really cool where an artist was saying Spotify is like your business card. Like you're
It
not going to
is.
make any money off of it, but it will, present different opportunities and open different doors.
Definitely.
So we kind of adopted that mentality, and yeah, and especially going to Alaska,
Mhm.
they're really big in buying cassette tapes and CDs from us.
Mm,
So this last tour we sold out of our cassette tapes,
Yeah.
which
that's
I
great.
don't think we would do anywhere else. But
That's really great.
yeah,
I love physical media, so I can definitely relate with that. I usually want to buy a cassette tape or a record
yeah,
or a CD,
for sure,
something to be able to support the artist, especially when you're traveling very far.
definitely,
Mhm.
yeah,
So that's great that you're able to do that states away and
for sure.
hundreds and thousands of miles away.
Yes.
And I do agree too. I think Spotify has become the staple. It's the first place people will
Yeah,
look when
Mhm.
they're looking at artists. Like,
for
oh, how
sure.
many monthly listeners do they have?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that thing, and that actually, defined our industry,
yeah. It
many years
Yeah.
ago
definitely,
now.
for
And
sure.
it's crazy that that's kind of the standard we have to live up to. It kind of puts us in a box of like, you know, if you're not doing this thing, then you're not big. I love that you take the backwards tactic though, because I think that's really important to be able to get your fans that thing that you want to present to them. And
Sure.
I think a lot of people really do want to support indie artists in the best way that they can. So the physical media is really, really important to that aspect of it.
Sure.
And we don't want that stuff to die out, like, at all. There is something so special about putting a cassette tape in and pressing play and then rewinding back. So I love that. All right. So before you guys play your last song, I just wanted to plug for the people who are going to watch this. You know, make sure that you are following Kuf and Christine both on social media. Definitely check them out on Spotify or wherever you listen to music. Hopefully they'll be at a place near you where you can get some physical media too. That's really important. But of course, we want to support in all different ways. So definitely make sure you hit up Instagram and hit up Spotify, Apple Music, all of those places to show them some love and give them some support. This episode will air at a very timely time. So you guys are going to be having your listening party on August 31st, and this will come out on August 30th.
Perfect.
So do you want to tell the audience where they can maybe come see you?
For sure. August 31st.
At Artemis Ethos, which is a super cool place.
Holistic Salon on Cookman Ave.
Cookman Ave and Asbury Park,
Yes.
so don't miss it.
And we're going to have two amazing artists on the bill as well. So you'll definitely want to catch them.
Yes.
That's great. That's wonderful. So definitely check that out and stay updated on social media so that you can see all the happenings that they have going on. And for us too, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. Let us know how you're feeling about the episodes. We love to see comments about the artists and about how we're doing. You know, do the same with social media. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Instagram. And the whole point of doing this is being able to grow our audience so that we can give exposure to the artists in our area and the artists that come to our area. So make sure you like and subscribe. And with that, I want to let you guys kick off with your last song. So this one is off of Hypnagogia, which came out in early 2024, and it's called High Vibrations. So thanks, guys, for coming out, and you can take it away.
Cool. Thank you for having us. High Vibrations. An ode to Philadelphia's rich history in disco. High vibrations. Through all the trials and tribulations, I learned to value patience. No, not a simple task, but they say practice makes perfect. I searched it, it was urgent, walking on the edge of a tilted surface. Here to find my purpose. Yep, it's all divine. And this music helped me though. In times of sorrow, it pulled me through. Gave me strength to reach a true place of understanding and share the tools. I find more often through sounds and words, hearts are softened. And the stress is less indeed. Share that jewel and beat I hear in your body now. In your body now.
Work it out. Melody to mingle, ease and confrontation. Sometimes you gotta turn it up to scream and shout. Do what's love, what makes you feel real. Do what's love, no doubt the cop was ever not ill.
your body now.
Like it's complicated, sound that be all wrong. Feel it
In your body now.
like it's complicated, without it cultivated. Feel it
In your body now.
like it's complicated, sound that be all wrong.
So this is the part of the song where if you got dance moves, now's the time to show them off. Let's go.
Feel it
In your body now.
like it's complicated, without it cultivated. Feel it
In your body now.
like it's complicated, turn that be all wrong. Feel it
In your body now.
like it's complicated, without it cultivated. Feel it in your
Body now.
like it's complicated, turn that be all
Let's bring that beat